Hi all guys, this is the first English extremehardware.com video review, and I would like to notify to you that we are not English, we're Italian. We're trying to do our best, but you can easily understand that we have a different approach in the language and the pronunciation. So please be respectful in the comments, okay? Anyway, we're reviewing the Corsair Obsidian series 750D, which is a full tower PC case. It's very interesting because it has a lot of different features that we can find. For example, a frontal finisher in aluminium with a brushed finisher, a steel rigid body, and plastic inserts. Anyway, what about the dimensions of this case? We can clearly see that it has a length of 546 millimeters and an height of 560 millimeters and a depth of 235 millimeters. What about the maximum GPU length? We can find that video card in this example we've installed a GTX 480. And the maximum GPU length is 460 millimeters for two slots, and in the lower slots with the Ssd cages installed we can have 340 millimeters. What about the maximum CPU cooler rate? Height, anyway, 180 millimeters. So it has a very good compatibility, and you can install a lot of very powerful system in it. Anyway, we report a statement from Corsair. This 750D has a clean, elegant exterior that dispenses with arbitrary plastic add-ons in exchange for the beauty of brushed aluminum and solid steel. For example, this one. This is plastic anyway, but very rigid and a strong one. This rigid, rugged exterior surrounds a frame that has ample room for high-performance components and the sophisticated cooling you'll need if you're going to push those components to their limit. And it incorporates a host of clever builder-focused features, because we know that building a system should be straightforward, trouble-free, and even fun. So this was a statement from Corsair.com. What about bundle? We can find, obviously this is just a video preview, because you will find the written review in our portal. Obviously it's in Italian. We're thinking of making also in English, but that's just a possibility. Anyway, about we want you to read the written review, because we've made a lot of interesting photos and details, also with thermal tests of this cabinet. So what about the bundle? We can find 10 MBD and HDD screws, 4 long fan screws, 16 short fan screws, 28 SSD or ODD screws, and 4 SSD pan head screws, 4 motherboard standoff, and 4 cable ties. So this is the configuration. But we can also find 3 Corsair AF 140L fans included in near the CPU in heatsink installation, and also in the frontal part. You can see that the frontal finisher it's removable. So it's a very nice feature, because you can find a fan filter beneath this cage. So it's easily removable. Here, and beneath you can find 2 140mm fans. It has you can easily install radiators. So for example, in the front part. Okay, you can install a dual 120 and or 140 millimeter fan mounts compatible with 240 and 280 millimeter radiators. So these fans are good ones, not so expensive, but good. They are okay, so we like them. Anyway, in the top, in the upper part of the cabinet, you can install a top triple 140 or dual 140 fan mounts, compatible with 240, 280 and 360 millimeter radiators. So you can easily install, for example, we tried the Phobia 280 millimeter radiator with two Noctua and FA14 flex fans. It's a very powerful configuration, so you should understand that this is a case which is very good also for liquid cooling solutions. In the rear, we can find pre-drilled holes for 140 or 120 millimeters fans, or for 140 or 120 millimeter radiators. So you can have a predisposition in the rear and in front, but also to the upper part of the case. What's this? This is full windowed side panel, which is very nice, but unfortunately it's not so thick. So this is a little problem, as we will see in the lower part of the right one, observed from the frontal part. So this is the right part, and this is the left one. And so, about the exterior frontal part, we can see that now I will try to zoom in to let you see the three slots, 5.25 inches slots. So here we have installed a Phobia TPC fan controller that we have just reviewed in our channel. So 3 slots, we can find audio, mic, reset button, on-off button, 2 USB 3.0 ports and 2 USB 2.0. So what about this side? It's easily removable. You just need to push out 2 thumb screw. I'm sorry, I forgot to zoom out. Anyway, okay, you just need to unscrew these 2 thumb screws that you can find in the back part. So it's easily removable, as you can see. It's not so thick, but it's very good. And we can find this huge central part of the cabinet. You need to understand that for thermal tests we have removed 2 HDD cages. These are the cages which are very solid and a nice finish, and also paintings. Anyway, this is a common system which is used to install 3.5 and 2.5 inches drives. So you can see that you can easily bend this system, which is made of plastic, and it has 4 lock-in system, which are very nice because, as you will see, it's a very product system. Anyway, there are 2 rails on each side, and you can easily insert the cage in the lower part. You can insert the other into the upper part, making right here, if I'm correct. Anyway, you can easily install in the lower part, side by side. Come on. Alright. Okay, we've done it. Anyway, it's a very nice system. What about the installation of a 3.5 inches drive? So it's very easy. Here we've got a Western Digital 1TB blue hard disk, which is classic with SATA power and data slots. So you just need to insert in it, push OK, and insert right here. It's very nice and it's easily removable. Unfortunately, it's not a hot swap, so you need to connect in the back the connectors, but it's not an issue. Anyway, we've done a thermal test, and unfortunately we've seen that this distance makes the GPU a little uncomfortable, because a little hot, because if you place such a distance from fans to GPU, you can dissipate this portion of the system, because these are not fans which have got spiral grills, so they can't move the air frontally. For example, like the Noctua F12 or the Silverstone AP123 fans, or the AP 121mm fans. Anyway, this is a cabinet with a solid internal design, with possibility to install the Ssds in the back plane, in the back part of the cabinet. You can see that we have installed a thermal sensor in this part to analyze the thermal performances. These are the 5.20 inches drive lock-in system, which is nice, but it could have been better. Anyway, the installation of PSU, it's as easy as possible, because you just need to insert and lock in the back part. As you can see, this is a GTX 480 card, and you can even turn the motherboard in this cabinet with the HDD cases removed. So it has a great room inside. This is a 140mm fan, and you have a nice distance also from the top part of the motherboard to the upper part of the case. This is a very nice design element, because you can install radiators and they can't collide with the rounds. So this is a very nice possibility. What about the upper part? You can find a filter, which is not so rigid, but it's a very good model, and you don't need to lock it with screws, because as you can see, it's just a magnetic filter, which is amazing, in all honesty. As you can see, you can place everywhere. So we would like also to have this to be purchased separately from the case. Yes, in the back part we can find a classic pre-installation installation possibility for the PSU in the lower part, expandable slots for the for example graphic cards or audio cards, 2 slots for the installation of external tubes, 140 and 120mm fans per installation, I/O shield, and a ventilation port with hexagonal holes in the upper part. What about the negative points of this cabinet? Okay, let's show what we think it could be a problem. Okay. What's this? It's the right, you remember the right part? It's the right thumb screw of the right panel. The right panel. Unfortunately, this space, it's not so thick, it's not so depth as we would have liked, because it's 2.7 millimeters. Centimeters, which is very good, it should be, but unfortunately you will see what happens with the system installed. Okay. Unfortunately, this model should have got a better depth in the right part, because when you when you install all the components, you can have a little of difficulties to install the right plate. Anyway, the cable management system, it's amazing, because here we can find a lot of holes of places where you can insert such things to lock the cables and other things. And here's the installation of the SSDs, the place to install SSDs. Just one second, that I want to show you. Okay, what's the procedure to install an SSD? At first, here's an Ssd Agility 3 SSD, and you need to place in this way, so you can easily see from the opposite side. I'm sorry, this side. This is the correct placement of an SSD, with the OCZ, with the Z into the upper part. No, which is okay, right? Oh fuck. Okay, oops, sorry. It should be like this. Anyway, you have got the SATA slot and the power connection. So you just need to insert right here. Anyway, installing a 2.5 inches SSD into tool-free expandable SSD cage. I'm reading from the manual. Okay, you need to pull down the tab and place the SSD into the tool-free cage until you feel it's secure. To remove the SSD, pull the tab down to release. What is the tab? It's this system. As you can see, now it's locked, but pulling down the tab, it makes the SSD go outside. Other things, let's see. What can we say? Okay, so this is a very nice system, which it was also present into the Corsair IR540D carbide series cage, which we reviewed some time ago. It's a wonderful cabinet. Reviewed, or we need to publish the review? I don't know, honestly, but you will find if you go into our portal. Anyway, this is the GPU cutout, so it's a great system to enhance the installation. And as you can see, this is a x58 platform, and you got a very nice cutout, so you won't have any kind of problems. What about the connectors that you can find in this cabinet? You can find an USB connector, one USB USB 3.0 connector, an USB 2.0 connector, an HD audio, a power switch, reset switch, HDD LED, power LED plus and minus. So this is the system. Another thing is that these Ssd Caddy are removable. To remove the Ssd Caddy, locate the center tab to the right of the caddy and then pull the tab in and lift to release the caddy. To install the Ssd Caddy, align the Ssd Caddy with the holes from the left to the right and secure into place. So this is the system, and that's all. You can find all the information, for example, about the thermal tests and the installation in our written review. So I want you to check it, comment, and think, and comment this review, this video review, but also the written review. Unfortunately, a lot of our reviews are in Italian. We don't make a lot of English reviews, but I hope that with Google Translator you can easily read them. Anyway, thank you for watching, and let's see you next time.